Hi everybody, Sam here. So I'm going to start a personal vlog just for friends and family. Just to talk about my new adventures on basically a new old bike. So I'm driving back. Today is the 16th of, what is it now? It's May. May 16th, 2026, and I'm headed to Revelstoke from Golden, BC time. It's nearly 10 o'clock a.m. So I got into Golden last night, met my Uncle Peter to pick up his 2008 F1200 BMW motorcycle. It's the GSA Adventure one. And my motorcycle journey began when I always thought motorcycles were dangerous. You know, as a police officer, went to a lot of crashes, some bad ones involving motorcycles. But when I turned 40, I decided that I would like to get a motorcycle. Was suggested to me as a great way to, you know, to outlet stress for your mental health, practice being more proficient with tools and getting basic mechanical skills. And so I bought a BMW F. No, it's not an F. It's a GS as well, but I think it's an F800. Yeah, because this one is an R1200 that I just got from Uncle Peter. Anyway, that bike, the 800, was fantastic. So last year I got my learner's license on a whim because one of my coaches at the gym was excited about his progression getting into biking. He's in his 50s, and he said it was easy to do the test. So I signed up for the test. I finished the workout. I looked on the website, and there was an opening to book an appointment to take the test like 15 minutes later. So I drove down from the gym and took the test at 8:30 in the morning, and after chatting with Bill, and I passed without studying at all. So after I passed the test, I was excited. So then I wanted to obviously get on a bike. So I started shopping for bikes. I knew that my Uncle Peter does such a good job researching things and trying things out, and he's very meticulous and prudent with his, how he spends his money, but always, likes to obtain high quality things. So I just piggybacked off of his research. I knew he had a BMW, so I started looking for a BMW bike, and I found one in Kamloops for sale. I think the guy wanted 9,000 or 8,000 or 10,000, something like that. Anyway, I got my learner's license, and then I went and bought this bike from this guy who works tech or something at TRU in Kamloops, and he showed me how it works, and I rode it around and drove it. My first kind of motorbike ride ever was just driving it from his place back to my house. But now I got a learner's license, and you're supposed to be supervised and all that stuff. So I went and paid for the training with V-Twin Cycles for their advanced training, which was an excellent course. I actually encouraged one of my friends, Nate, to take it, and he did. And anyway, after their training and passing the cone test, then your license gets upgraded where you can ride anywhere during the day. You don't need to be supervised. But then you got to pass. Within a certain amount of time, you got to pass your road test. So I failed the first road test for there's a school zone sign that was behind a 6-foot fence, so not visible. The route you take, you don't really know. So my excuse for failing the test is the school zone sign. You're so focused on driving the bike. If you're newer with the controls and you know, just trying to make sure that you're operating the bike safely in a way that's going to allow you to pass the test, doing proper shoulder checks. It's very easy to miss things that you're not explicitly looking for, and the routes that they take you on the driver tests are probably unfamiliar to you. And in Kamloops there's lots of hills and lots of side streets and stuff. So anyway, I came to a full stop at a stop sign and then turned right as per the instructions. And just tucked around, so there's a 6-foot fence on this corner lot. And just around the corner of that, not visible from where you're stopped at the stop sign, is a playground zone sign. Right? And if you remember your playground zone signs, I think it's just a picture of a kid kicking a ball. So there's no speed limit sign or anything. Anyway, it didn't pop out to me. And this was on a weekend, but playground zones are in effect all the time. So this is obviously one of their favorite little routes to trick you, because in my opinion it was a flawless ride, but it was an immediate fail because I think I probably got up to 40 in a playground zone, which is 30. So that was a fail. That was annoying to me. And then, but anyway, the second time I took the test, it was a pass. So then I'm fully licensed. I can make bigger road trips on the highway, ride at night, all that kind of stuff. And I did. I really enjoyed my time on that bike last year, and I've been using it this year. Insured it and got it on the road too early because it was quite cold. But yeah, it was in March that I started riding again. And basically, any time that I'm going somewhere solo, I'm on the bike, and I put the dogs in the bike, and it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I got some stories from my first year of riding, and one of them was I was taking a corner with a passenger on a dirt road, and I took the corner too wide at a slow speed because I was trying to avoid this tomato can or something. It was on a kind of a logging road or a service road, and somebody had a campfire in the middle of the road, and they left some of their garbage, like this tomato can. So I thought I'd go around the tomato can. Well, when you go to turn the corner, and I got a heavy bike with a passenger, it's handling a lot different. So the rear, as I go to turn the corner, the rear of the tire loses traction, and we go on our side, and the bike peg lands on my ankle. So I cracked my ankle. It wasn't too bad of a break. I was able to bear weight, but it was painful. So anyway, I learned a lesson to be very careful on the bike. It has been a great mode of transportation ever since. And but then I got a phone call a week ago or 2 weeks ago from my Uncle Peter. He's got this. He's got the R1200. I think it's an R1200. Or is it an F? I keep getting confused. I'll have to look for the paper later, but anyway, he says he kind of dropped a hint last time I saw him that when he's ready to sell, he's wondering if I'd be interested in buying it, because it's a bigger bike, a lot bigger. And anyway, it's basically the big brother to my 800. So he called me 2 weeks ago or a week ago and said, "Hey, are you interested?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." So I scraped the money together to. He said he'd give me a good deal on it. So I scraped the money together, and it's not a great time right now. I've got a lot of, as you may know, in my personal life, I've got a lot of issues coming up, and I've had to use a lot of lawyers. So I've had some pretty big legal bills, and I got property taxes coming up. And but I did manage to scrape the money together to e-transfer him. And I said, yeah, I'll pick it up next week because or next weekend, because I didn't want him to change his mind, because this is a family heirloom basically in my mind. So he bought it on his 40th birthday. No, sorry, that was his Goldwing. I'm mixing up my stories. But anyway, he bought this bike brand new from BMW, from the factory in Calgary. and took delivery and enjoyed it. And went on a big trip with his brother Martin, my uncle Martin. North on the, I think it's the Dempster Highway, Tuktoyaktuk, and explored up and through northern Canada there. So I would love to retrace that route one day, because the pictures are amazing. And so anyway, I jumped at the chance for this. So the timing wasn't ideal for me to do it, but I've only got the kids half time, so I got plenty of time for extra hobbies. So I loaded up the dogs and the trailer, and loaded up my bike and drove down yesterday, because I hope that we could have a ride together, because we haven't had the opportunity to do that yet. But and then I came down for a visit, and it was very, very nice, because my cousin Heidi, her husband Mark, they live in Golden with their children, and he invited me to have dinner and spend the night. So that was very kind. So I picked up the bike from Peter's place, and he shows me all the things, and paid him for the bike, and then separately for the extra stuff that came with it, and some other stuff. There's some tools that I bought, and some other stuff for him. And then we went to try and start it, and I think because it's been sitting for a while, the fuel's probably no good. So I got to drain the tank and get it running once I get it home. But anyway, super exciting. We loaded it up and had a really nice visit, and then had it was nice. We had dinner at Mark and Heidi, and then this morning each of their kids were showing off their piano skills. They did it was really beautiful. They got such a nice childhood growing up in Golden, so lots of outdoor activities, and it's a beautiful thing to have a house full of music like that. So anyway, we go to it was a really nice visit, really nice to catch up. I'll be back later this summer, maybe help with a construction project and visit some more. But as I'm leaving, my wallet had fallen out of my pocket, because I decided to meet with my Uncle Peter at the insurance place to transfer it over from Alberta to British Columbia, basically importing it into BC. So thankfully we're not required to do an inspection on the motorcycles being imported into BC, but you do got to pay PST on the purchase price, and I think I paid $5,000 cash for the bike, and then paid separately for tools and other things that I bought from him. So anyway, the PST on that I think was $600, and but then I had to pay this driver penalty premium because I'd had a speeding ticket on my 40th birthday when I picked up Dylan from the gym at 4 in the morning, and there was a police officer out at 4 in the morning, which was surprising, and I was like, really the only car on the road, but the only tickets I've gotten are in that electric truck of mine. And anyway, so I got that ticket, and another one, I think, in Greater Vancouver. If you get more than one ticket in the course of 2 years, they tack on this driver penalty for use, and it makes the insurance for the rest of the people in BC cheaper. So I had to pay an extra $300 for that, and because I guess they want to collect that. So anyway, the bike's been transferred over into my name. Very excited to get it running. It's a very therapeutic and fun hobby and really great way to get around. Call it environmentally friendly if you want to greenwash it, because it's more efficient to transport yourself around on a motorcycle, burning less fuel than it is in a big steel box. So maybe more people should be riding motorcycles. But yeah, it's a really nice way to travel. So looking forward to getting it home and enjoying it in the beautiful Thompson, Okanagan, where you can ride almost every day pretty comfortably for a huge part of the year. So yeah, my summers are looking pretty good. Summers motorcycling, winters snowboarding, and yeah, maybe some long trips in my future, just like what my Uncle Peter has done. So anyway, it's a little update that basically oh, I guess I could talk about the insurance costs. So yeah, to insure it to October, I think it was just under $1,000. But I get the full, highest insurance that I can get. $5 million liability and collision and all that. So, and yeah, basically a wonderful experience. I'm looking forward to seeing Heidi and Mark and their kids again this summer. And as usual, it's a pleasure to hang out with Peter and Chris, my aunt and uncle. And yeah, I got lots of really great memories from Golden. That's where I learned to snowboard back when I was must have been 16, or maybe it was 14 or 15. I don't remember. I remember one week coming out when I was a teenager and bringing my siblings and a friend of mine, and they hosted us, and I spent the week falling down, learning how to snowboard and kicking horse. So it's always really nice to come back and visit. And every February we enjoy a week together at one of the chalets here. I've been going for the last few years, and I'm really looking forward to continuing that tradition as well. So anyway, it's really nice to connect with family, no matter how busy life gets. It's important and really refreshing. So that's the vlog for today, and I try and make a new one every time I move around on the bike, so you guys can keep appraised of what's going on. Okay, peace.